Good morning, Riker Hill Ramily. Today is Wednesday, March 18th, and today's Ramily Read Aloud is going to be a book that I really enjoyed reading to my son Max, and will continue to do so repeatedly because it's that good. It is called Rumple Buttercup by Matthew Gray Gubler. And in the little letters here, it says, a story of bananas, belonging, and being yourself. So, as you can see, this is a rather long book. It is actually divided into chapters. So, we are going to read a chapter a day. So, I hope you join me over the next few days as we read Rumple Buttercup. The author was also the illustrator. He did both. And he dedicated it to For All the Rumples Everywhere. Come close, and I'll tell you a story. Chapter 1. Once upon a time, long ago and far away, in a tiny town beneath a purple-peaked pine tree, there lived a monster named Rumple Buttercup. You see him there? He had 5 crooked teeth, 3 strands of hair, green skin, and his left foot was slightly bigger than his right foot. And it says 11% bigger. Left, right. He was weird. And so Rumple worried that if anyone ever saw him, they would be scared, run away, or throw rocks at his head. So he spent his entire life hiding underground in a rain drain right by a garbage can in the middle of town, where no one would ever see him. You could see him peeking through the drain. But where he could still see them, laughing and playing, singing and dancing, walking dogs and jumping rope. But most of all, not being weird. And here are some of the people he sees that he feels are not weird. Lots of straight teeth. No green skin. More than 3 strands of hair. Perfectly proportioned feet. And then cute and fluffy. Living underground wasn't all bad, though. Rumple made the most of it and had a nice little home he decorated with old garbage he found in the can outside. And here is Rumple's home. Tin can chandelier, broken umbrella, toe scratcher, old-fashioned garbage chair with roller skate wheels and rusted radio headrest, and a footstool made entirely out of bubble gum and beans. Let's see if you can see that. Do you see his radio headrest and his footrest made of bubble gum and beans? And there are the roller skates. There he lived day after day, week after week, year after year. And in little letters it says, so much time. Alone. So one day he reached in the garbage can and took 2 lollipops, a piece of chewed gum, 3 strands of spaghetti, some melted licorice rope, a petrified pretzel. I wonder what petrified means. a handful of candy corn and created Candy Corn Carl. Even though he was just a bunch of old candy that Rumple had glued to the wall, Candy Corn Carl was Rumple's best friend in the world, and Rumple would talk to him for hours a day. "What have you been up to, Carl?" But Carl never replied. "Okay, well, hang in there, Carl. Get it? Hang in there because you're hung on the wall." If Carl was real, he probably would have liked that joke, but since he was a bunch of candy stuck to a wall, he just stared. When Rumple wasn't building stuff out of garbage or talking to Carl, he would listen to the voices above ground and pretend they were talking to him. With his eyes shut really tight, it was as if he was part of all the fun happening above. "Can anyone get my cat out of that tall tree?" And there's Rumple imagining, "I can." "Wow, those are some really great dance moves." "Thanks." "Ha ha 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 ha." And he's imagining, "Hang in there, I said." But when he opened his eyes, he would remember that it was all just a dream and no one was ever talking to him. Sometimes at night, if the moon wasn't too bright and if Rumple was feeling adventurous, he would go above ground with the help of a very simple disguise. Rumple's above ground disguise instructions. Step 1. Get a banana peel out of the garbage can. Step 2. Put it on head. Step 3. Close eyes. And step 4. Slither head up the drain and sit very still. Do you think that's a good disguise? Lying quietly by the garbage can, no one would notice him, and if anyone saw him, they would just think he was a pile of trash. Hidden under his banana peel, Rumple almost felt like he was normal. Year after year, with his eyes shut tight, he would feel the breeze of the changing seasons. In October, he could hear the crunching leaves and almost taste the apple cider. In December, he would hum along with the passing carolers. La 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 la. And in July, he could imagine the beautiful fireworks. But at the end of each night, he was always reminded that he was still all alone. That's the end of today's chapter. What do you think of Rumple Buttercup? How do you think he feels in this part of the story, in this first chapter? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Well, that's today's Ramily Read Aloud. We'll be back again tomorrow to read chapter 2 of Rumple Buttercup. I hope you enjoyed today's Read Aloud. Bye, everyone. Have a great day.